Hello everyone. This is the third video in the course 0 to 1 in web application pen testing using Burp Suite. I think you enjoyed the first two videos. In the first video, that was just an introduction video, and the second was on how to installing Burp Suite and different setup we would require for this course. Okay, so actually here on starts the main tutorials, like understanding the main features of Burp Suite, the different tabs there are. Okay, the burp target, spider, repeater, everything. So in this video we will see the first two, that is the burp target and spider. Okay, we will go through them now. So first of all, burp target. Okay, so what we will do in this video is we will see how to set up scope and we will analyze the sitemap. Okay, we will do it live on Burp Suite. So if you have seen the first two videos, I think you must be knowing that how to set up webcode with Burp Suite. In a way they work, they both work together. Okay, I already showed you in the second video itself. So this is Burp Suite which you have seen earlier. This is the target and this is the spider field which we will be seeing in this video itself. Okay, I have already opened up Webboot in my browser and I will just log in it. Okay, as you can see, first of all, just see that this target field is totally empty right now when I haven't done any browsing in for Firefox, so it is just empty right now. Now if I just do a simple, just suppose that I wrote this URL and see it's getting crowded bit by bit. Okay, the grayish ones are the one which I haven't browsed directly in the browser. Okay, this link actually made request to this websites, that's why they are getting shown in gray color. Okay, and this is our main target. Okay, so it will get crowded bit by bit. Just see, if I just give it the username and password, just sign in, see it's again getting crowded and it's getting more and more and more. Okay, this target is actually sending different requests to this all, that's why they are in gray color. And here starts our webhook and this. So this is the target tab. Now why is it useful is that when you are doing a pen test, you will want that you have your target in scope, so that garbage things or the things which are not necessary in your test doesn't come in your way. Okay, so this is the thing which we want. This is our target webhook. Okay, it's running on the IP your local host, and this is the port number of on which webhook is listening. Okay, 9090. If you right click on this, it says add to scope. Okay, so just add it to scope. It will ask, if you press yes here, then all these different fields which you haven't browsed in your Firefox will get out of the picture. Okay, so most of the times I do know, you can do it yes or no, it depends on you. Okay, and when you see the scope, see it has all automatically been added here. Okay, included in scope already. And why it is useful is when you are doing scanning or different kind of things, this will be pretty useful. Okay, and this is also, there is also an option to exclude some items from scope. If you add a different URL here, then this will not come in the different requests which you will see in the proxy. Okay, it won't come in this. So you won't be using that so much, but you will be using this. Okay, now there is also an option to use advanced scope control. Okay, here you can specify which protocol you want to use, HTTP, HTTPS. You can also give the IP and port number according to your use, and it will be included in the in scope. Okay, it's actually very much useful when you have got a website like say something like this. Say there is a pen test, and they have said that you have to test the whole domain. Okay, like say test.com. It can be www.test.com, it can be sales.test.com, blog.test.com. Now it will be a real pain if you have to add all those things one by one in the scope, right? Like we used to do here. So what you can do in that case to include everything in scope is just to dot star slash dot test slash dot com dollar. If you just write this IP, then it will take care of every domain, okay, every URL, like blog.host.com, sales.all.com, everything will come inside it. Okay, now test will be of course replaced by the domain which you are testing, and you can give the port as required. It can be any port. For HTTP it will be basically 80, and you can give the file or keep it simple. Okay, I just told you because in many of the pen test and bug bounty it comes in handy, okay, to use the advanced scope control and just to give the host like this. Okay, I will cancel it now because it isn't necessary in this. For this video we will be we have already got the scope. Okay, so this is how target is used, the burp target. And in the burp target, this is the sitemap which I was talking about in the presentation. This is the whole you can see for a specific host, you can see the sitemap by using this arrow. It's actually used to map the whole application's functionality. Okay, and so this is all for burp target for right now. Okay, and let's get back to the presentation. The burp spider. Now I think you must have heard the term crawling a website. Okay, it is used for search engine optimization and so, but this is a different thing. Burp actually has the feature to automatically crawl the whole website. Okay, there are so many different features in spidering. Okay, so in this video later on we will see how to use those features, and we will see that how the sitemap changes when you have spidered the whole host. Okay, the whole branch itself. You will see that there lot of things increase, lot of items get increased in the sitemap after you have done the whole crawling. Now what is this whole automatically crawling aspect thing? Actually if you just browse in the Firefox different requests which you make, you will see that it will automatically get added in burp. Okay, in burp suite, but there is also an option called spider. Okay, this helps in what, to automatically crawl the website. Let's see it for once. This was our main target. Okay, this was our in scope target. Now if you just right click, see it has already been added in scope. If you just click the spider this host thing, just keep a keen look on the left hand side or this. Okay, see, okay, see this is getting increase, this is increasing. Okay, this increase, the plugins which was not there earlier came on, and this is the burp spider feature of submitting different forms. Okay, since it is crawling, the website, there will be many different HTML forms which will come in place. It can be the login form, registration form, any application based feature. Okay, so you can just ignore the form for now. I will show you how to do it later. Just ignore it for now and see it will get increased. And if you see the spider, it will say in the status that if you go in the spider, it will say the spider is running. It totally made 67 requests, and these were the bytes transferred, and this is the scope it is using. Okay, since we added it in the scope, our target of webhook, you can also use the custom scope, and now you have to again give the scope, but since we are using webhook, this is all good for now. And here are the different options actually. So this is the spider options. Crawler settings, you can set up link depth of how in deep it should go the crawling. Okay, crawling means it will go from, it will click every other link in the website, it will click every other link and it will go deep and deep. So it's the maximum link depth. You can increase it, if you give it a 50, then it can take a lot of time, because there can be some dynamically generated content which will be always adding. So it's always better to give it a smaller number or so. Then there is a feature of passive spidering. There is the feature of form submission. Wait, this is getting some time. So this is the feature of form submission. Actually, this form submission is the HTML form which you will see when you are using web code. Okay, when you will manually go through it, you can see them perfectly. So there are different options which you can. You just saw me hitting the don't submit forms. Now the forms are not coming on the screen itself. This just means that it won't submit any form. Okay, it will just ignore all the forms. Then there are prompt for guidance, like before I hit don't submit form, it was like this option, prompt for guidance. It will ask me if I want to give a specific username and password for this form or something like that. And then there is always an option to custom field. Okay, you can automatically submit using the following rules to assign text fields. Okay, you can also add any text field which you want to get added in the form itself. Okay, most of the times while crawling, it's always better to use don't submit forms option, because it can be such that suppose you are an admin of a web application and you are crawling the web application, and there is also an option to delete a certain item. Now what will happen if the spidering is on, is that the spider will click, since spider is clicking all the buttons, all the links, so it might delete the button. Okay, so it's always better to do spidering means cautiously, so that nothing bad happens to the web application. Okay, and if worse comes to worse, then it's always better to do it manually. Okay, then there is the form of application logging, is the same as the previous field like form submission. Then there is the field of where you can set up number of threads. You can increase it a bit depending on the web application itself. Okay, then number of retries, pause before retry, throttle between requests. Actually the throttle between requests is that option, it comes in handy, because if the website if the burp spider starts crawling and it will send too many requests, and it can be a overload to the server itself. Okay, if it is a production environment, then it can be a overload. So it's always better to give some time between two requests, so that the server can cool down a bit and things go properly. Then there is the request header options. You can always change it. You can also use HTTP version 1.0. It all depends on you, but most of the times the default functions are mostly okay. Okay, you don't need to change the default options always. So now we saw spider options, and about the sitemap thing I was telling. See, this is the sitemap. Okay, this is the web code application itself, and inside it we can see the different functionality. Okay, so actually a spider is like a tool for automatically crawling the web application. If you use it with manual mapping methods, okay, like if you use it with your manual crawling, then it will always speed up the process of mapping the application's context and functionality. Okay, you will better get to know the content itself of how the application is structured. Okay, what are the different things inside it, like you can see the different JavaScript scripts inside it, and you can see the request and response thing here. Okay, you can see the different plugins which are being used. Okay, and you can see you can go deep and deep, and you will find many different things. Okay, so this is the burp spider itself. And these are some of the must read sources. As you already know that Burp Suite is taken care of by a company called Portswigger. They manage it. So this is their official website. You may say, wait, I will show you. See, all the things which I told you has been written here in normal text. You can always go through each of the link and then read what a specific option means. Okay, because not always people will use the default options only. So it's always better to see the different options from here. Everything is written here in proper text, so you should always, this is a must read thing. Okay, and about the conclusion. So what should you do after watching this video? You need to practice, practice and practice. There are so many bug bounty programs out there. You can practice on them using burp spidering and using the target thing. That only practice will make you better. And if you didn't understand this video watching first time, then watch it again and again and again. I have told every major thing which you need to know in these two, but a little practice is always required for you to understand the thing. And since I have given you the must read resources, you should always read that in order to properly understand this thing. Okay, so this was all for this video. I hope you liked this one, and in the next video we are going to see burp proxy. So let's get wrapped up with it and see you in the next video. Bye bye.